Hello and welcome back to Testing Sobriety Mounjaro UK. I'm Claire, I'm 48 years old and I have been taking Mounjaro for 38 weeks. So this is week 38. I was in maintenance mode a few weeks ago, but I felt like my weight was teetering up a little bit and I was a bit too high in my range. So I set myself a range of between about 9 stone 3 and 9 stone 9, but I wanted to sit around the middle of that, and I was really up near the top of that. So I did put myself back onto weight loss mode for these last few weeks just to get down a little bit lower, and I'm going to share with you how I've got on this week. Have I managed to lose a little bit of weight, and how good have I been at exercise and eating and stuff? So let's get on with it. I'm 5'4", by the way, and I started out with a BMI of 28 and a weight of just teetering under 12 stone, but literally I think it was either dead on 12 stone or 11 stone 13. So that was where I started. I'll show you a picture of me at that weight or thereabouts. I've been up and down by about half a stone for years and years and years. It was just this constant battle. I'd get to about 12 stone, feel really unpleasant, and then desperately try and lose weight, and then manage to lose about half a stone over long periods of time, working really hard mentally, trying not to overeat, trying to eat healthy foods, and then something would always scupper my plan. So by the time I lost that half a stone, I was done, and I'd end up gaining it all back again. And I've just repeated and repeated and repeated for so many years. Last week I was 9 stone 7.9, and as I say, I want to be somewhere between 9 stone 3 and 9 stone 9, but closer to the middle of that. I'm going to tell you what I weigh in a little while. I like to make you wait. I'm hoping that you stick around and then get weight at the end. That's my little trick, to make you watch the video. How's this week been? So this has been a week off work. I'm on a shift pattern and I get regular periods of time off work. So this week has been off work, as will be the coming week, the week that I'm on now. So that means I've got more time to do more exercise, to shop and to cook good foods. But did I do that? Start with exercise. I did do 2 swims. That for me is my bare minimum. I need to improve that. So my goal this week is just to do 1 extra swim and do 3 swims. So this week, as I say, I'm off work. I've done 1 already. I did a swim today. So I've just got to do 2 more swims by Sunday and I will be happy with that. So there's my goal. I have done a long walk this week. I just did a walk into my local town. Ended up buying some coffee beans, which I needed. I say needed, but I like to buy artisan coffee beans that have been recently roasted. And that's sort of like a little treat to myself. So I got my coffee beans. I had a little wander. I did have a look there's a clothes shop that I like down there, and I didn't buy anything because I'm on a no buy, which I mentioned in last week and the week before's video. So I'm going to come back to that. But yeah, that was a good long walk. It was about 9,000 steps or just under. So that's not bad, but that was the only long walk in the week. So all in all, how do I feel about my exercise? It's passable. We're going to give it a C-, I think. So yeah, if I can get that extra swim in, maybe try and start doing a bit more strength training at home again, just squats and sit-ups. If I can get back into that, that would be a really good thing. But there is this overall lack of motivation that I feel when it's dull and dark and cold and raining most of the time. It affects my mood, my motivation, and yeah, I feel like hibernating. And even though, yeah, I'm indoors, I can still do exercises. It's just like this laziness that settles over me. But yeah, hopefully next week I can come back to you and tell you that I did 3 swims and I've done at least some indoor exercises. So, you know, hold me to account if you can. Hold me to account on that in my comment section next week. So exercise, yeah, that's exercise. Food-wise, I think it's been okay. I did have to go away this week, actually. I didn't have a whole week off because I had a course. So I had to stay overnight the night before, and then I did 2 days on a course. And so I ate at the hotel and there was a limited menu. So I would say that my eating was okay, considering I did have to eat out twice. So I think the first night I had their katsu curry and rice, which is a coated crispy chicken, a few pieces of crispy chicken with the curry sauce and some rice. I don't feel like that is a particularly excessive high calorie meal, but my package included dessert. So I had an ice cream sundae. It was called apple and I think it was apple and blackberry ice cream sundae. So that had vanilla ice cream in it. It actually didn't really, it wasn't like crumble. If you have a proper crumble, it wasn't like that. It was more like smashed up biscuits, if I'm honest with you. And why would I lie? Like, if I'm honest. And then it had some whipped cream and some sauce and stuff. And I did actually eat all of that. And I'd only done my shot a few days before, a couple of days before. Actually, when had I done my shot? For some reason, my Shotzi app is doing that. Oh, it was doing some sort of update. For those of you that don't know about it, Shotzi is a really good way of tracking your shots. It's free to use. I only use the free version. I'm not affiliated in any way, shape or form. It's just, I find it really handy. Look, when you go into it, it tells you when your next shot is due. So mine is due in 2 days. And you can go back on the bottom, you can click jabs and you can see the last one that you took. So my jab was, and it tells you where you put it. So stomach upper left was my last shot. And when you go to add your jab, the one that you're doing now, it will tell you where to put it because it knows that you put it upper left last time, so it will rotate it for you. I find that handy, keeps me organised on that score, and I can look on here and see when I last took my injection, including the time of day as well. So I took it on Wednesday and we are now on Monday. So I will continue taking it weekly for now, and I'm still taking 2.5 milligrams. So when I was at the course and eating hotel food, it was at the end of the week. So that's probably why I was able to finish my meals. So on night 2, staying at the hotel, I had a crispy chicken burger and had some sauce. I can't remember what else, but yeah, it was a battered chicken burger. And it's quite nice, and it came with chips. I probably only ate a couple of the chips, so that is normal for me on Mounjaro. I do find something like a burger, I've always found burgers really filling because you've got bread and protein already, so you've already got your carb, and then to add extra carbs with the chips, I've always found that a bit much, even pre-Mounjaro. You know, if I got burger and chips from a fish and chip shop or whatever, I never would eat that many chips, although I definitely ate more chips off Mounjaro than I do on Mounjaro. Anywho, I only had a couple of the chips, so they were like the big meals that I had. And then I did, I think I did some, I honestly can't remember what I ate at home, but I think one night I ended up just having a tin of soup and I had some breaded chicken. So quite often I just have chicken nuggets if I can't figure out what I want to eat. I know it's not ideal, but I'm just being honest. Being honest with you. So food wise, it was a bit up and down, I suppose. There was some higher calorie meals there at the hotel, and then some lower, more snacky type meals here at home. I feel like I'm confessing, like I have sinned a little bit there, but anyhow, we move on from that. So I'm going to talk to you about how I felt, and in terms of whether the dose is right for me and the timing is right for me. So I think, yes, 2.5 milligrams is good for me. It keeps me from pigging out. It definitely controls my cravings for a large part of the week. And it does keep me fuller for longer. When I first take the injection, I usually take it in the evening. The next day, I do feel like I can eat a lot less. I don't really get that hungry. I can go quite a few hours in the mornings before I fancy any breakfast. And as the week goes on, I just slightly get a bit hungrier. And then by the time I'm due to take my shot that last day, that's when I'm really fighting my own cravings. That's when I feel like I want to snack and do all those things. But I do try to engage my willpower, and I feel like it's working for me really well at the moment. 2.5 milligrams on a weekly basis. If I find myself losing or gaining, then I will reassess. Right, I'm quickly cover my no buy. So as I mentioned in the last previous videos, I put myself on a no buy because with the weight loss, I started to shop for clothes and I kind of went a bit crazy. I really got into buying secondhand on Vinted, and it got to the point that I was buying something almost every day for a couple of weeks, and something new was arriving almost every day for a couple of weeks, and I have stopped it. I don't need anything. And also it's obviously wasting my money. I've got goals. I'm 48 years old. I want to, if I can, I want to retire earlier than the state pension age. So, in an ideal world, 55, I think, would be great, and maybe a little part-time job. Just that, yeah, I've got goals. I want to get my house paid off, and then once the house is paid off, I want to put excess money into investments that will help me to retire early. That's a very, very briefly, but missing out quite a lot of stuff as well, because this is not a financial channel, but there are really good financial channels. If you need financial help, if you're not good with your finances, if you're overspending, if you're like over consuming, which is a massive problem, because I think we all do that. It's so easy to spend money to get that little dopamine hit and cover up, fill the void of whatever it is that might be missing in your life. And maybe you've got some loneliness, or you've got some boredom, or you've got some frustration, or you're overstretched, and or you're just tired all the time. I think sometimes we just go to shopping because it's such an easy thing to do. But if you are over consuming, you're filling your house up with junk, and you are robbing your future self, and that's not good. So decided to take it in hand and have a no buy month. My month runs 15th of the month to the 15th because that's payday. So here we are on, I believe it's the 8th today. Yeah, Monday the 8th of December today. Here we are, and I have bought something this week that probably shouldn't have, but I'm still not worried about it because it's just a pair of leggings. So I was on Amazon. I obviously need to buy Christmas presents. They're exempt from the no buy month. So I was buying a Christmas present, and I needed to get the postage. I wanted to get the postage for free, which means more spending. So they get you with that one, don't they? And I needed to replace a shampoo that had run out. So that was on there. but it still wasn't enough. So I have noticed that I've been really cold. My legs have been really cold in jeans when I'm out and about, and even indoors in my tracksuit bottoms, my legs have been getting a bit cold. And I thought, I'm sure I've seen people talk about fleece-lined leggings. And so I put those on my radar. This was a week or so ago. And then I do have a couple of pair. I'm not a leggings person. I don't wear them that anyone can see me wearing them. Some they're more for if I decided to go to the gym and actually work out or something. But even then, I usually go for the tracksuit bottoms. But I had a couple of pairs of leggings in the cupboard from that I've had for years and years, but they still fit because they're leggings. And so I started wearing my leggings under my tracksuit bottoms when I've been feeling cold. It's not too bad today, so I haven't done that today. It's sort of warmed up a little bit. And then when I went out on my walk into town, I had leggings on under my jeans, and they really did help. And I thought, I really would like a fleece-lined pair of leggings. So I was on Amazon, and I just got a pair that was less than £10, £9 something. And I added that to my order, thinking it might push it to the free postage at the same time. Actually, it didn't. And I thought, I'm not adding any more to this order. I had to buy a larger item for my nephew, but that was not a direct Amazon item. So it didn't, I thought that would sort the postage situation out, but it didn't, because it's separate to Amazon, even though it's all in the same order. Anyway, that's all by the by. So I did end up buying a pair of leggings. They're not here yet. I only ordered them a couple of days ago. But that is really it for my shouldn't really have bought, but I did this week. So I'm really happy with that. And it's not long now then. I've only got 7 more days until payday. And then I'm not going to go crazy, but there's jumpers on Suzanne. So Suzanne's a French website. I really love their clothes. This is a Suzanne top. I actually got this one secondhand a little while ago. There's 2 jumpers that have been released that I really, really want. So my rule to myself is I have to sell 2 of my own jumpers to make up for it. So I am probably going to do that. But I have held off because they were released yesterday, and part of me was worrying because they do sell out sometimes. They sell out certain things, and I had FOMO, and I was like, but what if they sell out and I can't get them? But the reality is these things come up secondhand. So if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If they're still in stock, then I will buy them once I've been paid, and I will sell 2 jumpers to make room for them. But that's it. That's a no buy. I will obviously keep you updated as and when if I end up receiving 2 new jumpers. But that's it for no buy. On that topic though, I mentioned last week about cashback sites. Some of our prescribers are on cashback sites, and if you are not using cashback sites for everything, including your Mounjaro, and also if you're on Wegovy, then you are missing out on free money. And it's very, very easy. They're not scams. I've been using them for years. I'm on one called Top Cashback, and I'm on another one called Quidco. What I'll do is put links in the description. I'd like to thank Karen. Karen's GLP journey. She commented last week that she signed up via one of my links. So I get a little bonus, and you also get a little bonus by signing up to them. So thank you to Karen for using my referral code, and it has shown up on one of the sites. It's shown up. It doesn't obviously say who it is, but I can see that someone used my referral code. So that gives me a little bonus. And what I would say though is if you know anyone that already uses these sites, ask them first, because I'm a stranger. So ask if your friends or family are already using cashback sites, and give them the referral, of course. But if you don't have anyone that's using them, then use mine. I get a bonus, you get a bonus. How many times can I say that? Stop! And do check your subscriber on these cashback sites. So I'll show you a screenshot of, which one is it? Top Cashback. So my Ushk order last time, I got £17.56 back for ordering via the cashback site. and it took a little while for it to track, and I actually had to raise a query about it. So if you're going to make a bigger purchase, then definitely keep track of those, because they do sometimes go missing. But I raised a query. It's very easy, very simple thing to do on the website, and then they did track it, and now I've got the money available to withdraw, and it's just extra money that you wouldn't otherwise have. So I highly recommend doing that, and then do it for everything you spend money on: grocery shopping, online, that is. Everything online, all your Christmas presents. It takes you have to get used to it. You have to get into the habit of checking. If you're about to click buy something on eBay, go and check both sites, because they're both usually have eBay. Just find the one that's got the bigger percentage off, and yeah, you just click the link and it takes you through. And then so what I do on eBay, because you use the eBay app, put it in your basket, then go and check which site is the better deal, and then click through, and it will make you, usually puts you on a desktop. I think one puts you on a desktop, maybe the other one takes you back into the app. Either way, everything you buy, go through a cashback site. It's got to be done. In this day and age, the government are going to claw as much money from you as they possibly can, and you need to help yourself as best you can. So either use a cashback site, stop buying stuff altogether, join on the, there's something called a Buy Nothing Rebellion. Have a look into that. There's people that have like whole no buy years, and they all record it and share all their frugal living tips and stuff online. So it's such a good thing to get into if you're struggling with money management, etc. And one of the best things I ever did was searching financial advice on YouTube when I had no clue whatsoever. And it really has helped me get into a much, much better position than I was back when I used to just spend pretty much everything that I had. And what did I have to show for it, really? So yeah, highly recommend doing that if you're not that great with money at the moment. So let's talk about my weight finally. Thank you for making it this far. This week is a weight loss. So I'm very happy with that. And it's actually quite a big weight loss. I have lost 2.7 pounds this week, which is surprising based on what I told you about the hotel food. So 2.7 pounds. I will say that the night before I weighed, I only had a slice of cheesecake for dinner. I know that's a bit naughty, but I wasn't really feeling like, I think I had my lunch really late, so I wasn't really feeling that hungry, and I couldn't figure out what I wanted, so I had a slice of cheesecake. So that might be partly why the weight is quite low, because there wasn't much food in my system. But anyhow, so this week was 9 stone 5.2, and last week was 9 stone 7.9, so that's a 2.7 pound loss. I am really, really happy with that. I now feel like I'm just going to try and maintain around this weight. I'm not going to take my foot off the gas too much. I think I did that last time. I think I over-egged the pudding a little bit when I went into maintenance, and that's why the weight sort of started to creep up. And this time I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, I think, and see what happens. It's such a suck it and see thing, the whole Mounjaro thing. So suck it and see. But maintenance in particular is really, really, it's almost uncharted territory. There are people out there sharing their maintenance experience, but it's not really, there's no, this is how you do it. It's yeah, you just have to try things out and see how you go. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing for this week, see what happens next week, and then yeah, just take it week by week. It's all good. Here's the Christmas tree. Do you like it? Put it up yesterday with Pete. We had a really nice day. Wrapped presents. We got a load of presents under the tree. Wrapped presents. Put the tree up. We watched a nice film called The Last Bus. Check that one out. It's on one of the channels. If you like old people in British films, very sort of heartwarming, but also quite sad. I wouldn't rave about it, but it's a nice watch. So yeah, The Last Bus we watched, and that was a really good day. And yeah, feeling really good. I am feeling a bit more uplifted, I think, than I have been in the last few weeks. So that's good. Let me know how you're getting on in your own weight loss situations in the comments below. I do appreciate you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.